I don't know. I think Pat's dead, right? I think that show's done, right?
I, I was ready Sunday. Like I was like, okay, I'm waiting for the text. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna wait. I'm
Yeah.
here, and then he didn't do anything. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go stream then.
Rip PMP. That's all. What is up, everybody, and welcome to another special episode of Nintendo Talk. I'm Bobby, the Nintendo Guru. This week, I am joined by a good friend of mine, JoAfterWork. I don't know whether I'm still co-host with you at all on the little show called the Planet Nintendo Podcast, because I don't know if Pat's alive or dead or whatever he is. But
There's Patty Wagon.
so I want to explain to people what we're going to do here at this point, because this is the third prediction show that I've done. The first one with Justin Masson. Second one was with Josh Thomas. This is my third one. I like hanging out with the guys with the name Jay. That's all it has to do with. But the idea here is, on this particular episode, is to kind of take a step back from my predictions. And because I plan on doing these all the way up to E3. And I think the idea is for me to step back this week and kind of let the other people talk. And then give your prediction and then discuss. And try to turn it into a more discussion-based show, rather than, oh, I think this is going to happen. Oh, I think this is going to happen. Oh, I think like that. Those shows are good, but we can make them better. We can take it and turn around and make the whole situation a little better, I feel. But anyway, I digress. Real quick, Mr. Joe after work. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm chilling. Had a little bit of a cold, so sorry if I like cough every now and again.
You're fine.
Yeah.
You still look
Yeah.
good. That's all that matters.
I miss you. I
I
miss you,
miss
man.
you too, man. It's been too long, man.
Seriously.
The last
What
time,
up,
the last time that you and I had alone time, that was on a Planet Nintendo live show,
Yeah.
and it was probably the best episode ever. And it was without Pat. So again, we're gonna
Oh my God.
like, you know what I mean? Like, it's
Has it been that long? It really has been that
this
long.
is just you and I, I'm talking.
Jesus. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Wow.
So we gotta just, we gotta make this more often. And maybe that's something that I'll start doing. That's what I'm thinking of doing, is like grabbing something, and maybe like once a month, once every 2 months, grab a topic and kind of pull a bunch of people in to get a bunch of views. I think that's kind of what Nintendo Talk is starting to convert into.
Yeah.
For a while, it was a live show, and I've kind of enjoyed not doing the live shows anymore, just because there's so much pressure for those. There really is, man. I feel like when I'm doing a live show and there's people there watching, I
Yeah.
feel like I have to be on top of my game in terms of asking questions and stuff. And when it's just one-on-one like this, I can kind of
Yeah.
free flow and have a good time with it. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe
You make it look flawless regardless.
well, it's not as easy as it looks. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like how gorgeous you are. You know what I mean? Like, it's not as... I know there's a lot of work that goes into that. You know what I mean?
this
like,
guy.
So,
This guy. Oh man, it make me blush.
okay, so with that, real quickly, where can people find what you do, Joe? Let's jump into that.
Yeah, best place, twitch.tv/JoAfterWork. That is everything right now.
Yeah, it's basically where you can find Joe. He does a lot of Nintendo Spotlight stuff where he'll grab something and play it and discuss it and talk about it. So please go check out Joe and all the stuff he's doing. He also has a YouTube channel. All the links will be down below. Check it out. Go give him a follow, please. He's on Twitter, all that stuff. Joe After Work everywhere. That's basically what we look at.
I make it easy.
But unlike me, I'm different names every different place. So you can find my stuff. You can find,
Underscore.
yeah, if you can find
S's.
if you can find me, you can find Joe. That's all that matters. Joe, let's start off. E3 is coming very close, very quickly. We're under a month now, right? Well,
Dude,
under a
it's
month.
crazy,
We
yeah.
only got a couple weeks left
3
now.
weeks.
Yeah, we're into the 3 week zone. That's insane. By the time people listen to this, it'll be 2 weeks.
Holy
So
crap.
that's pretty awesome. But everybody likes to do these shows, these prediction shows, and I want to kick it off now. I want you to give me. Let me real quickly. I've asked Joe to bring 5 predictions to today's show. So let's start off. What's your first prediction that you have?
Man, I don't even know if we'll make it through all five because I feel like this first one will be on here for a bit of
Oh,
time.
here we go. Here we go.
We'll start with the crazy wild heavy hitter here.
Mhm.
I got my list here ready
Okay.
to go, all fleshed out. But it's no surprise if you've seen one of my streams, if you've seen me talk about this on PMP going back a year ago, uh, Nintendo announcing some sort of streaming subscription for games,
Kind of like
Sim
like a Netflix type thing.
similar to
Game
Games
Pass.
Pass.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, whether or not it's a partnership with a beta version of some type with xCloud, since Microsoft seems to be getting their hands everywhere
Mhm.
as of late,
Yeah.
or if it's a different kind of beta with the company that they're using out in Japan for their streaming services.
Mhm.
Um, that's unsure. I would assume Microsoft, but I might even be a year ahead on even predicting this right now. So I know this is really out there, but I would say Resident Evil 7 and Assassin's Creed Odyssey get shown off uh, as part of this streaming service because those are the two games right now that are out in the out
Okay.
in Japan right now.
Hold on for a second here.
Yeah.
Now the two games that are streaming in Japan,
hmm
but they're not being streamed by Nintendo, right? They're being streamed by Capcom and Ubi, right?
So there is a company that and sorry, the name escapes me. I actually researched this a while back, but it's a company I believe from China
Okay.
or Korea. For some reason, it's one of the two, and they basically they do this whole streaming thing. Like they're a network based company, and it seems like that's the company that's running whatever servers are playing these games. Um, as Odyssey and Resident Evil 7. To
Hmm.
my recollection, it's been a few months. I should have come a little bit more prepared with that, but I believe that's why the kind of pricing is so different
Hmm.
and why I think it'll be a little bit more structured when they eventually go into this because it's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
Whether it happens this E3 or not, I just really like this topic.
I okay. Let's have real talk here.
Yeah.
I mean, is this something you really want?
So let's go back a few years on live back in like 2011, 2012.
Okay.
I actually subscribed to it. I thought it actually worked out really well for me.
Hmm.
Um, you guys know, like the only reason I collect physicals is because I get discounts on them from
Yeah.
Best Buy right now. Once that runs out, I'm back on digital train. Like
Yeah.
for me, I don't mind it. I find it fascinating more than anything, the technology behind it. It's not so much that I'm for an all digital future. I think there's a place for both physical and digital.
Yeah.
And for me, digital convenience. Streaming a game, I think, just makes things that much more easier for a casual who's interested in games to get into it if they can get something in their hands that's like, for instance, their phone and be able to stream something straight to their phone, like
Yeah.
what, Google Stadia is trying to do with everything. um,
I guess my what turns me off personally
mhm,
is the fact of like this is more like a rental than owning at all. Like at least
absolutely.
like I understand, don't
Absolutely.
get me wrong, digital games you don't necessarily own them per se. Like you do, but you don't. If hypothetical, like if the eShop ever disappeared and your Switch broke, you're never getting those games back again. However, if I own Mario Kart on a cartridge, I could just pop it back in and play again. It's a risk you're taking. But with these, you don't own them at all. You have a time frame. It's a rental service. So you have it for like a year. And then after the year, it's gone. And, so to me, that, I'm not going to lie, that bothers me a little bit more
Yeah.
than the digital world.
hmm
Just because I feel like it just feels like real, I don't know, man.
And don't get me wrong, like the pricing structures for all these services can be like the way it works in Japan.
Yeah.
I don't know honestly how many people are actually like subscribed. I think it was like 70, $80 to which is like that their pricing for a full price game is like
Yeah, yeah.
70, $80. Um to have a 2-year license for Resident Evil, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
And then once that subscription runs out, your save is gone. Like it's
that's what's crazy.
Yeah.
Like you pay for this thing, and then like your save file, everything's gone, and it's like, man.
Which at that point, it's kind of like, okay, and again, not defending it, it's kind of like, okay, am I actually going to play this game again? Like if you're a fanatic, you're gonna buy the game physically, or
that's true. That's true.
Play it.
I mean, I guess it's good if you're.
It's alternatives is really what it comes down to.
I think ultimately where it works for me is if they have multiple games on there,
Mm-hmm.
and your $70 is for all those games, and you're able to just try stuff out. And if there's something you really want, you just go buy it. And if there's something you're just like, then at least you didn't lose money. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And I want to get to the pricing structure in a minute, but I'm thinking as far as like other games, Capcom seems to be testing it out. Yeah. Ubisoft seems to be testing it out. Why not Capcom announce Resident Evil 2 remake for it? Monster Hunter World, bring some of those higher end games that can't really run on a Switch, but if we stream it on a computer that can then emulate it to properly run on a Switch, why the heck not, you know?
Now, you and I have had this discussion on P&P a couple times, and I don't necessarily feel that the United States is ready for something like this in terms of like the infrastructure isn't there.
Yeah.
Japan has crazy internet. Like their Wi-Fi system is unbelievable. So for them, it's a little different. We are way off base for that, especially like middle America. Now, maybe if you get into big cities like where you live in New York City or like San Francisco, maybe Orlando, Florida, something like that, like Chicago, maybe when you get into densely populated areas, they might be able to pull something off like this. But I feel like right now, at the current status, the status quo, it does not happen. It doesn't, you know. But, so, okay, with your prediction, do you feel like this is, like, what's your time frame for something like this to happen? Like, you're predicting they're going to announce it, but what do you feel like they say, like, next year, 2 years from now?
For me, honestly, I think I go back to what I said before. I think it's at least a year out, but for the sake of this conversation, why the heck not surprise us with something crazy like this? Let's put it in for the prediction for this year's E3. I would then say on top of that, pricing would probably go into being published on the Nintendo website. I don't think they announced that in this particular thing. I think they do that separate, kind of like the Nintendo thing to do, where you have to like dig in and find the information afterwards.
Yeah, true.
So I would say then this is where we get to the Games Pass pricing structure, where it's you're paying $9.99, let's say, for a month, or as an add-on to the Nintendo Online. You would still need Nintendo Online if you're playing if you're playing any of those, if you're streaming any of those games and wanting to play with other people. And what I mean by that is Monster Hunter World in particular. Let's say they announce that as an example. Yeah. That's a game you could play online with other people. You can solo play it, but you're going to need Nintendo Online still.
I think so I think with your prediction, I think you're a little bit closer in terms of like a Games Pass type thing. Yes. Like an actual streaming game service, I don't think we're anywhere near that yet. But I think the Games Pass type thing, and it wouldn't shock me if Microsoft is the company that comes out and goes like, hey, Games Pass is hitting the Switch now. Like that's one of their announcements. I
wouldn't be surprised, I just don't think that all these games that would be on Game Pass that are on there right now would be able to just natively run on a Switch.
Well, of course not. But I think they do something like this, where they go, hey, you own Games Pass, Dead Cells runs on the Switch, it's also over here, it's part of Game Pass.
Yeah.
Of course, there's a weird price structuring thing that has to happen, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think it's that type of thing, where it goes like, hey, Cuphead is on Games Pass, and it's on it's on Xbox. It's over here. Boom, there's one. Hellblade, there's two. You know, like
Yeah.
if whatever games they decide to add, because there's no doubt in my mind that Microsoft announces some games for the Switch this year at E3. When stuff like that happens, I feel like those are games that are, boom, automatically on Game Pass. I don't know exactly how it all pans out, but I think this is kind of interesting. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Just for argument's sake. If Microsoft is to announce Game Pass, where do you think the announcement happens? Do you think it happens in Microsoft's conference or Nintendo's conference?
Man, I feel like that. I feel like it could be more of a Microsoft thing if they want to make it a big note.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna lean more towards Nintendo, and the reason being, I think Microsoft's conference wants to focus on the Xbox.
Yeah.
And the games that are coming out for Xbox.
Yeah.
I think that's the place you want to do that and let retailers know, blah, 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 all that mumbo jumbo business stuff. I say the Direct just like, hey, here we go. Here's some games that you can see on Game Pass, and here's how it's going to work. And then that's that. Leave it at that. Let everybody just go crazy, you know? Yeah. Sort of thing. It'd be like right in the middle of everything going on.
It's interesting. It's an interesting conversation.
Yeah.
Let me ask you another question. And I'm not saying that you're predicting any Microsoft games to end up on Switch, but I think it's pretty much a foregone conclusion. We'll get something. Where do you think that gets announced? Like, do you think that Microsoft goes, hey, Nintendo, put this in a Direct that this game is coming from Microsoft Studios? Or do you think Microsoft announces it and then a couple days later? Because Microsoft goes first.
Yeah.
This is such an anomaly.
We're in such a weird time. Like, I feel like, if anything, like, someone from Nintendo would have to show up at Microsoft conference if something crazy with their Play Together campaign is going to work out. Like, I feel like that moment is going to happen there. Mm-hmm. What it is that would be announced, I have no idea. But I would say the Game Pass for sure would be something that Nintendo would announce. Nintendo loves to like make those announcements their own sort of thing. Yeah. And I feel like if there's maybe some, I would say actually, let's say Doug Bowser shows up or Miyamoto for that matter, shows up on Microsoft's press conference. I think it would be to announce, some sort of I had it and slipped away, but I would say that they probably would announce something that's going to be on either both consoles that you can again, the Play Together thing, they would play off of that, or there would be maybe a game that's announced because that'd be silly if the game's announced that's for both of them, then there's no purpose for them being there. I mean, the banjos, the rare replays, like those are the things that always come up in these conversations. Mm-hmm. But I feel like it has to be something really special. I think Ori gets announced. Ori, that's another one that's been bounced around. I think
Ori's going to get announced. There's apparently this, Forza mobile game. I think that gets announced.
Oh yeah, there you go. That could be something maybe.
Yeah. So I think there's a few things that Microsoft has up its sleeve. I don't think they announce like a Halo or like Gears or anything like that. Like those games are more like maybe Halo Wars, that offshoot game that they do.
What if we just randomly get Phil Spencer in the Direct to announce?
I'm just excited for any idea of this. I'll be honest with you. I think this is such an exciting time. I can't wait. I really can't wait. It's
really interesting. Like, for me, honestly, like, aside from this whole streaming situation, I think, honestly, Nintendo will focus more on, like, their games than anything else. Like, the stuff that they've already announced that we've only seen, like, in development or, like, just a little tease of it. Yeah. But, like, this right here, this will be a big thing, whether it happens this year, next year, or in 2 years. Absolutely. It's somewhere within this 2 year time span. This is going to come up. This is going to be a topic. Like,
Pretty awesome.
The subscription thing, and the streaming thing is going to happen. Like, there's no way that Nintendo doesn't see what's happening with everything else. They're always a few years late to the party, but it's going to happen. And the fact that they already started in Japan even last year just blows my mind. Like, whoa, hold up. They're testing something.
Well, they always test stuff in Japan. Japan is always the beginning. But like of
openly like that. Like, that was crazy.
Yeah. Okay, prediction number 2, Joe. What do you got for me?
All right, so we're gonna get into the safe bets, the Wii U and the 3DS.
Okay.
They're both, RIP.
They're both
press
dead.
F to pay respects. But we got some games on there that are still not on the Switch, and I can totally see them on the Switch. For instance, I got the list right here, so stop me if you in any in the middle of these. But I think you've mentioned these in the last 2 episodes. Tokyo Mirage Sessions, Sharp FE.
I'd love to see that come.
Pikmin 3. I can't imagine we wouldn't see it.
I think a collection is more in order, but yeah.
No, I agree with that for sure. This one's just for me. Wonderful 101.
Trash. No.
It's not trash,
stop,
Come on,
bro. Stop. That game is not good, man.
It is good.
The game is not good.
It is a good game. It's not the greatest thing since sliced bread, but Platinum, come on, baby.
It's not even sliced bread. It's not even like a crumb off that bread.
Oh my gosh! Throw me a bone, Bobby. Throw me a bone.
The bone I got is not what you're thinking. Let me put it that way. This is not a good.
Oh my gosh. And then these last 4, we're going to get into some dicey territory. I feel like I can't not mention at least this next game because it's me. But I feel like Metroid Prime Trilogy finally does get announced.
Yeah,
and
I think so.
I feel like I was more on the fence before about that being held off until Metroid 4 is closer to being done.
Yeah.
But I can also see it as like a, hey, we effed up.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Yeah.
You know?
This will hold you over a little bit.
Exactly. And then, what you thinking?
Well, my feeling is this. I feel like we get a Metroid on Switch this year. I think it's either the Metroid Prime Trilogy or it's a port of Samus Returns.
Which that was the very next thing on my list.
Okay. I feel like one of those two are possible. I don't think both. One or two.
One or two.
Be honest with you. For me, I would prefer Samus Returns this year and then do Metroid Prime next year or the year after to get it a little bit closer to when 4 actually launches.
A Metroid a year.
You could do that, but I don't think that... Yeah, you could do a Metroid a year, but then what's the one you do the next year? You don't want to do Metroid Prime 1. I think you do the trilogy. You do it all together.
Oh, yeah. No, sorry. No, yeah, I'm with you on that one. Yeah, I'm saying maybe Samus Returns this year, Prime Trilogy next year, the year after we finally get 4. I think when...
Oh, okay.
I feel like if they do it that way, then maybe they'll have enough to show something at the very end, like the one last thing at next year's E3.
I just want to make one prediction.
Yeah. Go for it.
Because I feel like I have insider sourcing on this, and I feel like I'm right on this. But like everybody keeps screaming for whatever Retro was working on. Like I listened to NBC last week, their prediction show, and Pear was like, whatever Retro's working on, they're done, and they got to announce it's coming. Like that's going to get announced. People, this is my prediction. Just because of, I can't say why. There is nothing there. There will be nothing announced. You are going to get your heart broken. Retro has been doing nothing for 5 years. That's my prediction. And I'll tell you what, if I'm right, if they don't announce anything from Retro this year, I will, on a Nintendo Guru Daily, I will explain. I'll break everything down for people and explain what I know. Because I think it's been long enough now that I can explain what I know.
Sheesh. Oh, that's a bold claim.
I just gotta figure out how I protect the innocent, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's
And I would love to know the story behind whatever the hell happened that they have not made a game since Tropical Freeze on the Wii U. Like, something had to have happened. Like, dude, this is wild.
Well, that's what we're gonna do. If I'm telling you, I'm gonna give. Yeah, we're gonna break it down. If everything. If they come out with a game, that means what I heard is absolutely wrong. If they don't come out with a game, then that tells me that I'm absolutely right and what I've been thinking and what I've been knowing, and I'm just going to basically blow it out the water.
I mean, things happen and games sometimes are made, but not made to liking, I feel like, and that's probably what the hell, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
But,
okay, Joe. Okay.
3DS.
Okay.
Ever Oasis is the next one.
I don't see that coming.
And then Monster Hunter Stories, because Capcom is on this porting.
Yeah, Capcom is all about ripping us off and just throwing everything at us. And so I wouldn't be surprised. Like, people want Monster Hunter World. Oh, we'll give you stories. Like, that's just what they're doing. They're trolling so hard, and we're just idiots that keep buying up their stuff.
But I will say, Monster Hunter Stories is a highly underrated RPG.
Oh, yeah.
Played that on the 3DS. The story, although cheesy, very much, it's Pokemon Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
Listen, I wouldn't mind. I bought the amiibo.
Yeah.
I spent like $100-something on all the amiibo.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
I imported them all, man. I brought them all in, man.
I imported them all too. Did I really spend that much?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Well, because there's 5 or 6, and
something
you figure,
like that.
You figure. I think I got them for relatively cheap. I might have only spent like $80, maybe.
I was gonna say I don't remember them being that much.
Can I tell you something? Toby hit me up a couple weeks ago. He's like, "Hey, do you still have Box Boy amiibo?" And I'm like, "Oh, dude, absolutely." He's like, "Is it still in the box?" I'm like, "Yeah, man. I didn't open that one up. It has Japanese writing on it. I don't open those ones, other than the Monster Hunter ones. I did open them."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Dude, that thing's going for like $500 on eBay right now." And I'm like, "I might have to cash you in, bro. You might be going bye-bye, man." That's just nuts. It's nuts.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Okay, so what's up next? What's your next?
So next up, do I really want to do that one? I think I'll skip that one for the moment. But
oh boy.
This one will be because the next one's not really exciting, but this one I feel like is more the set expectations one. And I feel like this is what we're going to get in terms of what Nintendo is doing for the rest of 2019 sort of situation. We'll probably get the one more thing that'll like get everyone talking and then lead into the treehouse, but I think we get the follow-up and release dates on all the games that they've already announced and kind of cover a majority of this year's lineup. So what I mean by that is all the Nintendo license stuff. I think we open with Animal Crossing trailer and a release date, just to kind of get everybody to be like, finally, holy crap. We'll get one more snippet of Super Mario Maker 2 just to remind people that like, hey, that's coming out this month.
Yeah.
Fire Emblem, same thing, quick thing, reminder. Astral Chain, I think we get another trailer and a release. Well, we know the release date already, but I think we get another trailer. Daemon X Machina, I think we get a trailer and a release date for that. Luigi's Mansion, actual gameplay, and fall 2019 or something like that. I don't think we get a release date for that one. Another reminder for Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, which that's in July. Same thing as Fire Emblem. One that got shown off last year, another Game Freak game called Town.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think I think we get more of that. I think that's going to be the Game Freak thing.
And that's coming 2019, correct?
That's what they said.
Yeah, man.
This is one of the ones that I'm like, maybe this doesn't make it, because you would think that Pokemon Sword and Shield is the focus, right?
Not for E3.
No, but I mean, like
For
what
from Pokemon Company. I mean,
yeah.
you would think, right?
Because isn't Game Freak still developing these games? Like,
wouldn't you be smart and go, let's just push this to 2020? Like the back end of 2019 is so heavy from Nintendo. So my fear would be to introduce a brand new IP in that field of games that are coming. Man, I would be so scared to put that game out.
And I think this is gonna fall because they have this whole like side. Game Freak has like this whole side project thing of like, hey, we make Pokemon games, but we want to be more than known for more than just Pokemon sort of thing. So like Giga Wrecker Alt, that's one of their games that dropped like a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
but that was a game that dropped on Steam back in like 2017.
They've done games for they did a game on PS4 that was a it was a game. I forget what it was about, but people got all excited when they heard it from Game Freak, and it was like, okay, but Pokemon Company is where it's all at. You know what I mean? Like the Game Freak games, I don't think do as well.
I mean, I would agree. Yeah. not to that caliber, of course, but I'm sure they sell enough for them to do different side projects, which is kind of nice. But I think we get at least something of it, and then maybe they say, they say fall 2019, but really it's probably going to get pushed to 2020. I can't see this game dropping this year.
I'm with you there. I don't think it drops this year. There's one other one there though. Daemon X Machina. I don't think that drops in 2019.
There's so many games on this list.
First off, there's so many games, and that game is not that good. They need to fix that game.
It's fun. It's all right.
Well, listen, Joe.
The controls were weird.
Joe, be honest. If you're being honest, that game is not ready to be launched. They need to read the reviews.
That wasn't even a demo. That was what did they call it? They had some fancy.
I can tell you what I called it, but that's not the same thing as what they called it.
Like a beta.
Trash. You know what I mean? Like it was horrible. I think that they should take the information that they get off of those surveys and just go away for a year. Seriously.
It's probably what's going to happen.
If they're smart, they do. I mean, I don't know if that studio can withstand another year, but I mean, if I'm Nintendo, I pull them aside and go, listen, we learned this tale. It's a little game called Star Fox Zero. You don't want to go down this road. Like, fix your game.
Well, here's the thing. This is also, this is one of these third-party partnership games from Marvelous. Marvelous has a bunch of like anime like games, and they're kind of okay. I expected this out of this type of game situation.
Yeah,
and I think expectations were tempered with this game. This was one of those, ooh, new IP. Yeah. I'm hyped for this game sort of situation. Yeah. And then what people got were something that they weren't expecting because their expectations were here because you see Nintendo lined up with it, and you kind of get like, average title. Like, okay, yeah, this is sort of why, like me personally, I was like, okay, yeah, this is exactly what I expected. Not a great game, not a bad game, a good game. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, I had fun with it. It was all right.
This is going to wind up being the devil's third of the Switch.
Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't even like go past like stage 2 in Devil's Third, so
it's more than I did.
I mean, I feel like this game is up my alley. There's something there, but it didn't fully click entirely with me in that demo. Like looking back in hindsight, like there are some neat mechanics in there, but I think, like you said, whatever they do with this feedback, it's probably they probably gone silent for a reason, and it probably won't be 2019. Yeah. But I think it still gets shown off here as a reminder that this game is still going to be out. If we get a release date for that game, just temper your expectations.
Well, my expectations
It'll
are tempered.
be a decent game.
I don't know, Joe. I don't know.
It'll be a decent game.
When do you think? Have they set a date? They haven't set a date for Link's Awakening yet, right?
No, but that's the next one on my list. Okay. Another trailer and a release date.
Okay.
I'm thinking September.
Yeah.
or you think Animal
See,
Crossing?
my feeling is Animal
slot?
Crossing December. My feeling is Animal Crossing September.
Yeah,
Luigi's Mansion in October.
which makes sense.
Pokemon in November.
Hmm.
And Link's Awakening in December.
But then what do you do? Okay, so hold up. Let's go down. You got June Super Mario Maker,
Yeah.
Fire Emblem, and Marvel Ultimate in July.
Yeah.
Astral Chain August.
Mm-hmm.
September, October, November. November's Pokemon. That's a given.
That's a given.
Luigi's Mansion 3 makes the most sense for October. And then
the only two you could flip flop, I think, is Link's Awakening and Animal Crossing. But I feel like Animal Crossing, they want to get that out in September and lead in and have, because here's the thing, my feeling anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You get people to buy a Switch in September because Animal Crossing is going to push sales. Link's Awakening is not going to push sales in terms of consoles unless they do a special edition.
Yeah,
They're not going to sell, like, people are not going to buy a Switch for Link's Awakening. Don't get me, okay, let me, before people start screaming at me, you'll have like a handful of people that'll buy Link's Awakening or buy a Switch for Link's Awakening. More people will buy a Switch for Animal Crossing than for Link's Awakening. There is no doubt about it. 110%, bank on it, guarantee it. Because I know, I can tell you so many people right now don't have a Switch and are so excited for Animal Crossing. So my thing is, you put it out in September, right? And then you basically sell software to all these people where if it gives you more time to sell software. You know what I mean? Where if you put it out in December, you're only basically getting people to buy Christmas gifts. Where if you get them to buy the new console in September, then you could sell them all the like Christmas present gifts, all through through the time. I think Pokemon is another one that's going to sell consoles. So I think between Animal Crossing and Pokemon, those two are going to sell consoles, and Pokemon's November 18th or the Friday before Black Friday.
It'll have a special edition Switch, like
that will.
That's going to be a given.
Yeah.
For the same exact reason why you're thinking September is actually why I'm thinking December. Or a dual release in November, because I don't think there's competition between Animal Crossing and Pokemon. They have their audiences.
True.
They do mix in.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I think.
Could you imagine that?
Like early November for Animal Crossing, late November for Pokemon.
Yeah.
Or
I mean, it's possible, dude.
Yeah,
it's possible. It's so hard to gauge.
It really is.
I mean. And if you do throw Damon X Machina in there, let's just assume that launches this year, because there's no sign that Nintendo's going to push that game. That maybe that's a December game. You know, maybe that's a game that hits in December.
But hold on, let's see. We've had big games drop in December the last 2 years now.
Of course,
Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Yeah, that was an okay game.
It was okay. It was a great indie title, up and coming. Monolith Soft, you know.
They tend to release indie games in December. This year was the biggest indie game ever. With Smash,
Smash Brothers. You know,
not that big game.
Not that big at all.
Yeah.
Which is why I would think that maybe they go either early November or beginning of December for this game with a special edition Switch to get the Christmas gifts for everyone that for that same method.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's hard to say.
It can really go either way. It's so crazy. But yeah, no, I was with you before. You asked me a year ago. I was like, that game's a total spring game. Yeah. It's either you launch that like right before the summer starts or right when summer ends in that September area.
December is such a horrible time for Animal Crossing.
But you get all the holidays, right?
No, you miss all the holidays. You get Christmas. That's it.
That's why you get November, and that's why
you miss it then. If you do it September, September, you get
Halloween.
You get Jack with the Halloween. Yep. You know what I mean? Like then you get Franklin with, and then you get. Like, come on, you get
Which
Jingle.
Again makes absolute sense. Like,
New Year's, you get so at least people get to celebrate all the holidays.
Yeah.
If you do it in December, you get
totally see it.
nothing, man. You miss it all.
You
You
get
you don't even get Toy Day, man. No, you wouldn't.
You got Three Kings there.
Get out of here, man. Get out of here with your stuff. Come on.
Oh,
All right, so you're of the mindset nothing's getting pushed. Everything's ready to go. Everything's ready to be released.
Not everything. I mean, I'm with you on Daemon X Machina. I think they still say that it's going to come out this year.
Yeah.
But it's not. Yeah. I think that gets pushed. And same thing with Town. It said it was in development last year, but I think we might get an announcement saying still fall 2019.
Yeah.
And then it just silently goes away.
It's smart to push that game. They shouldn't even play games. They should just come out and go, listen, we have a very busy last half of the year, and this game needs a little bit more time to work out, blah, blah, blah. We're going to move it and just do it. Just get it back. Now, I do know from the investors meeting, they said Animal Crossing is pretty much dead on. It's not going to be delayed. Like, it's ready to go. Pretty much everything they've given dates to as well. Luigi's Mansion's ready to go. Pokemon is not missing their date. Like, Pokemon is done.
That
game is done. They're just fine-tuning it. They're just adding some magic to it here and there. But that game's done, too.
Outside of Direct, I think it still gets shown real quick. Just like as like a, hey.
Pokemon?
Yeah.
Pokemon definitely.
I
mean,
Direct,
I'll be honest with you. We could probably see a Pokemon Direct like 2 days before the actual Direct. Because Nintendo's notorious for that.
Did you get the email? It just popped up right before the Skype call. The Nintendo World Championships and the Splatoon tournament, the 8th. That's Saturday.
Yeah. Well, it shows the Mario one. Mario one's that day too.
The Mario one's that day? Which is the Mario one?
You didn't hear that? During the Mario Maker Direct, they announced a Mario Maker tournament.
Yes. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. So that's
do you think they sneak something in there to throw off everybody
in the Mario Maker?
No, in the Nintendo World Championships.
Well, it's not the Nintendo World Championships,
dude. I could have sworn that was this email. Hold up, I'm gonna check right now.
No, it's just
Smash Brothers
World Championships. Sorry, I read it wrong. 2 World Championships. What I think happens is I think during Smash and during the Nintendo Direct, they announced the next DLC characters. They're going to announce 2.
Yeah,
they have to.
Because it's smart. It's what every other fighting game.
Dude, the fighter
does.
pass is done in February. So the fighter pass is done in February. You've only had 1 character come out so far. They got to announce 2. I don't think anybody gets I don't think anybody's playable. I mean, dude, they could come out and go like, "Here's the new character now, boom," and then also say this one's coming in, September, November, and then go this one's coming in February.
Yeah, like normally when these so I'll just real quick for like other fighting games when they have their tournaments, the bigger ones. Companies will come out and they have their trailers, their hype trailers for like their season. So like, for example, Street Fighter V, when they were announcing characters for their season passes, like they'd say season 4, bam, here's this character, here's this character, here's this character, here's where it launches, and it'd show off the set fighters for that season. I can see them kind of doing something like that where they just mouth off the last 4 characters.
Yeah.
Or doing 1 and really playing the slow game.
I think they're going to play the slow game, but I think they're going to announce 2. I think they'll announce what I think they're going to do is at the Smash tournament, announce 1 and go, and he's available now. And then
that would be awesome.
At the E3 Direct, go, the next fighter is boom. And by the way, we just announced this one last night. He's available now. Or whatever. Go, hey, we just announced it. We just will give you a reminder. We announced this one at the tournament in case you missed it. If you're living under a rock, if you haven't noticed the trending Twitter posts, this is the new character. He's available now. Go get him. And by the way, the next one you can look forward to getting is this one. Boom. And I think that would be huge.
Yeah.
I don't think they do anything during Splatoon 2. Only thing I think they might do during Splatoon 2 is just go like, hey, as a surprise, we got 1 more drop of like gear coming to you, like clothes and stuff.
I was gonna ask you, like, have they done any drops
No, it's done.
recently?
No,
It's
it's
been
done.
done
It's
for a
done.
bit, right?
It's been done for a
Okay.
bit.
Just Splatfests and
Just
that's.
Splatfests, and they're almost coming to an end too.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Ooh. You think you think they might be ready to announce something else like in the next 6 months?
I
Sorry,
don't.
straight away, but
No, but I don't see why they couldn't announce a Splatoon 3. I mean, if you think about it, in theory, right? Splatoon 1 was only like what 3-4 years after Splatoon 2.
yeah,
This
yeah,
game is 2 years now. So if they were to say like, hey, in 2020 we're gonna have Splatoon 3, it would make sense. I mean, because if you think about it, right, in true shooter fashion, they
yeah,
normally come like once a year, once every
yeah.
couple of years. There wasn't a lot of lead time between 1 and 2. This is a huge title for Nintendo. I just don't understand the reasoning to start over. Just keep adding DLC to that game.
Yeah.
Like, they literally could have just been like every 4 months, been like, here's another pass. Like, dude, take Fortnite's thing. Like, every 10 weeks, every 20 weeks, here's a fighter pass, you know, or a battle pass. And there you go. Just call it a Splat Pass. Here's your Splat Pass for the next,
Dude.
20 weeks. Here's all these things you can unlock. Like, dude, they could make it so much like Fortnite, where it's like challenges, like swim in the ink for so many seconds, and you unlock this. Here's an achievement that, like, you have all these things to unlock each week. Dude, that might be something they announce, and if they did,
Dude.
holy crap! I don't need a battle royale mode in Splatoon, but if they were to do something like that, where they go like, hey, each week you can unlock this exclusive gear that you can only, like, here's a new helmet that you can only get by doing it. This, dude, I would be in Splatoon every single day. Every day. I'm playing Fortnite now every day.
Dude,
Just to unlock stuff.
It's a really smart idea.
Yeah.
Like I can see that, or I can see some sort of integration. It's funny you mentioned Battle Royale. What if they did a Splatoon Battle Royale as a separate thing for Nintendo Online?
I don't know if I would even want that, to be honest with you.
I know it would ruffle feathers. I just
think it
throwing
would
that
be
out
too.
there.
I just think it'd be way too. Because here's the thing: is there 100 different colors? You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, it doesn't have to be 100. It could be like
well,
25 or something like that, you know?
I guess. It'd be interesting.
Yeah.
What's your next prediction there?
So this one's outside of like the actual direct itself. I thought this would be a fun one, but the theme. Every year they've had a theme for the last few years. Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey. What was last year's? Last year's was Smash.
Mm-hmm.
Mario Maker theme this year?
No.
No? You don't think they go with a theme?
No, because I think it's too. No, I think they go to theme. I think it's Animal Crossing.
Ooh.
I think Mario Maker is too close to launch for them to do a theme.
Do you think that's too risky though, in terms of like people taking photos and leaking that out?
What's that?
Animal Crossing theme.
No, because they did a good job of holding Breath of the Wild behind, and same thing with Odyssey.
But people knew Breath of the Wild was coming out, is what I'm saying.
Well, they knew Breath of the Wild was going to be the only thing. They didn't know the booth was going to be the way the booth was. That was the first year they did that. And then Odyssey, same thing. Nobody had any idea that was going to be, the whole booth. Mm-hmm. Smash really wasn't as in-depth as the other two were. I'm telling you, man, I really think we're going to see Animal Crossing.
It makes sense. The way the layout, so when I was there for Odyssey, they had like different buildings for New Donk City. They had the crosswalks. They had like the Cappy place where you got your Cappy hat, and I can totally see the same thing happening with Animal Crossing, where like you have your different people, your different villages or whatever. Maybe you have someone in like not a villager, but like all the other animals like walking around.
Like KK. You have KK.
You have statues or whatever.
Yeah. There's all kinds of stuff they could do. The thing of it is for me, it's, for those that don't know, like Nintendo's booth is massive. Like, it is
It's
huge where it is. Sony was across the way, and Sony's gone. Now, I think this year's like a rose something, like a rose garden or something. Last year, right next to Nintendo was like this open area where people are laying down and stuff. It was weird. Sony didn't do a good job, I felt, last year in terms of like the real estate they had with with their booth. So I wonder if Nintendo expanded out just a little. I don't know if they did or not. I didn't really take a hard look at the map. I don't think they did, but who knows? I would have if I was them. I would have extended a little bit. Microsoft
real
and
estate
them
is expensive, dude.
Well, yeah, but think about it. Like, if you want to put on, you have massive games coming this year.
Yeah.
Like, go hard. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. I think but I think though as well, they kind of had E3 by the balls because Sony pulled out. So they could have been like, hey, you can either have nothing over there or we'll take it for a quarter of the price or something. You know what I mean? Like, they easily could have been like, if you want the extra money or you don't. Because it's nothing now. It's nothing now. It's not like another game company went in there. So they could easily just turn around and go, hey.
I mean, from what we know, I haven't even seen that map. Like,
yeah, the map, there's nothing there.
There's nothing there, really.
Nothing there. They're calling it like the Rose Garden or something weird. Rose Lounge or something like that. It's
interesting.
Weird. Yeah. There's nothing there.
I wonder if they make that like the VIP area for press to play games. Like
it would make sense, right?
Yeah.
It would make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, we'll find out when it comes.
Yeah.
So, okay, what's your this is your fifth one, right? Your last and final one.
Yeah, final one. I think it's playing it safe. SNES lineup for July for SNES games on the online program.
You think it's going to hit July?
I think they just announced, the 3 games, first 3 games.
Oh, you just think they're going to... Oh, okay. So you're saying June, they're going to say, hey, next month we start, and this is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Here's my question to you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like when they announce the SNES games, they eliminate the NES games, or do you feel like they do both?
Man, wasn't there something that said that they were ending it soon, or like that this was it for the NES games? I'm paraphrasing, but like something along those lines. I felt like I read something, but
to my knowledge, I don't remember. But I didn't see it, but that doesn't mean it's not true.
I have real vivid dreams. Maybe it was a dream then.
Could have been.
But
could have been.
I mean, what's left NES wise that's like someone would actually want to go out of their way to play? And I'm not being like a jerk.
No, man. I mean, there's a lot. I'll be honest with you. There's a lot of games that have not hit right now that I would love. I would love Metal Gear. Would love to see Metal Gear hit there. I like that game. I thought that game was really good.
Who's gonna play? Like when they see the list of games now, people are like, "Dude, I saw someone on Twitter like Clue Land. Like, who's gonna play?"
Well, that's what I'm saying. You don't bring games like that. You bring like, dude, if you got Metal Gear, I mean, they really didn't bring any Castlevania games.
But they have the Castlevania collection.
I know, but if you don't want to buy it and you can get it for free, why not?
They're not do that.
Well, that's
if they can make
Konami.
Money off of that, like
Konami might not want to, but
yeah.
Okay, so so Metal Gear. I feel like there's some. Oh my god,
I can list off games, but
you got Russian Attack. I think that's a good game. I think The Adventures of Bayou Billy is a good game. You can get the Goonies game on there. Like, there's a lot of games that are still there that are really good games. That like just throw one in.
Yeah.
Like, do 2 SNES games or 3 SNES games and go, oh, here's your 1 NES game.
Yeah.
Like, Kung Fu is another one. You still have, like, there's some sports titles. There's a lot of sports
games.
There's a lot of sports games. You have Blades of Steel. You know what I mean? Like, there are a lot of games that hit that console that don't have anything. So, for me, I would love to see them, like, lean into it a little bit.
Yeah. But, I mean, I feel like... Personally, with me, with the NES and like what I've seen from like the generation that does own Switches, like those would be games that you would expect from an NES classic rather than seeing them load up onto there. If they can even get licenses for like half these games,
what about Final Fantasy? What about Dragon Warrior or Dragon Quest, whatever you want to call it, whatever it is? Like, dude, there is a lot of great games that are not on there yet. And
but companies also got to be willing to like put into work for it.
I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. But I think that this is something that, like, the groundwork's already been laid between Microsoft and Sony doing these things.
Yeah.
I could see that. I mean, it's not like they don't have third parties on there now.
What's the return on investment on all that stuff too? Like, that could be it. Like, we've seen a few of these games, and like the return on investment might not be there for them to do it.
Maybe not. I mean, the other thing I would like to see them do, but I don't know if they will. It'd be nice to see them like lean in and grab a couple indie games and start dropping some indie games in there for us.
Yeah,
some ones that maybe
that would be dope.
Maybe like, I'm just gonna throw the example out there because I know that all his games are on sale right now. The Atui collection. Like, go to Jules and say, hey, man, can we take one or two of these games and throw it in there? Or go to Image of Form. Like, all these games that you see are dropping things on sale, just go, look, we'll just give you money for everyone that's downloaded or everyone that's played. Or what. I don't know how you work it because this isn't a download thing. It's more of a... I think with Sony and Xbox, they get paid by the downloads. It's not... I think they get a percentage up front is what it is. But who knows? I don't know how it works.
Yeah,
I don't know the details, but they could figure some stuff out.
It's either a blanket lump sum or buy the downloads or something like that, I would imagine. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, just going back to NES, like, I can list games. None of them would end up on there. Turtles 2, Turtles 3, The Manhattan Project, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, like you said, Goonies, Fester's Quest, like... Those are all the games that I grew up playing on the NES. None of them are gonna make it. Like, LJN, done, son. Like,
yeah, you're right on them. That is true because of the licensings. That's true. Yeah, that's very true. There's a lot of games that are.
It's the N64 situation, dude.
Yeah, there's a lot of games that are licensed that are lost behind.
Yeah.
Who knows, Joe? Yeah. It's been a wonderful, wonderful chat with you, man. I like this, dude. I'm gonna do this again. I'm gonna reach out to.
This is fun.
I'm gonna reach out to. I'm gonna call it now. The next J is gonna be N64 Josh. So he's gonna be the next one that I get on here. We're gonna do this up,
man.
And then I gotta think of another J after that. But who knows?
Just gotta keep going.
Yeah, but I think it's a cool. I don't know. I hope people enjoy it. If you do enjoy this happening, the way I'm doing this formatting, when I'm doing it. Please slap a like button down below, share it with your friends, let people know about this. This is a lot of fun, and I feel like I'm going to keep pushing forward all the way up to E3. Maybe the week before E3, I just flood with one a day. Like, that's a possibility. Just start recording these things like crazy. So be sure to check out everything that Mr. Joe After Work is doing at JoAfterWork.com. Joe After Work everywhere. Go check him out. Please give him a follow, like, share, all that good stuff, whatever you can do. Check me out, Twitter, Instagram, at Nintendo Gurus. That is all. Peace out, Preston.
That was all.